Hey everybody, I am back with the follow-up video to the last video I posted. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, go ahead. So as many of you guys already know, I started lock journey number 2. I just wanted to give you guys kind of like a preview of what was going on and then answer questions later. You guys did leave me some questions in the comment section. I appreciate that. I'm going to go through and answer them all. When I do lengthier videos like this, I like to do little timestamps. So if you want to skip around the video, check out the description box and then you'll see all the questions outlined and you can skip to the part that interests you. So the first question I have is, what made you want to lock again? So really what it was is when it came to my first set of locks, that was a great set of locks, but it wasn't exactly what I was going for. I think if you've watched my other videos, you knew I was going for kind of like the Sisterlock look. I was hoping to be around 400 locks, and by the time I was done and I did the final count, I had around 250. And at the time, I just decided to just go with it. I had interlocked my hair from tip to root, and I just wasn't about to undo that. I was like, we'll just see. In the end, it was, like I said, it was a good set of locks, but it just wasn't what I was going for. So I decided, it's actually been 4 years since I started that set, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give this another shot. I'm gonna give this another shot and see if I get closer to kind of what I had mentally envisioned for my locks, and I think that this time I'm certainly closer to that. Next question was, are these Sisterlocks? No, these are not Sisterlocks. They certainly, are Microlocs, and they have the look, but I did not go to a certified Sisterlock consultant, so these are not Sisterlocks. They don't follow the Sisterlock grid pattern or anything like that. My parts are neat. I took time to do that, but again, I'm not using the patented system that is Sisterlocks. Did you establish these yourself, and if so, how long did it take? Yes, I did these myself, and I established my parts and did my, the starter locks over the course of 1 week. It did take several hours. For those of you guys who don't know, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I've got 2 children, and so I really am busy, and I just kind of would get up early in the mornings and do a little bit here, do a little bit there, and then also late at night before going to bed for a couple hours, maybe 2 hours. But yeah, I did it over the course of 1 week. How many locks do you have? So the last count I had 722 locks. I was originally shooting this go round to be in between 500 and 600 locks, so I definitely got more than what I was wanting. And after I completed it, I started to go through and combine them, and I was like, you know what, I just spent a week parting out all this stuff. I'm tired from doing that, so I'm not gonna go back now and combine them. What I plan to do is wait for my first retightening, and then at that point, when I'm going through and adjusting the roots, I'll determine which locks I want to combine to make them a little bit bigger and see if I can get closer to the 600 mark. I'm actually not like married to that number, so if I go through and I think that all of them are a really decent size and I like them, I just may leave them as they are. We'll see as time goes on. Did you use extensions to create this style? No, I don't have any false or synthetic hair included here. If you haven't been following me for a while, the length of my hair is relaxed and my roots are natural, and it is all my hair, just in different states. What method did you use to start your locks? Are they braided, twisted, or interlocked? So my starter locks are a combination of braids and twists. And to be more specific, rope twists. Several years ago, I made a video explaining the difference between kind of like standard 2-strand twisting and rope twisting. I will, I think, add a little tag for that video so you can check that out if you want to see it. But ultimately what I did is I braided the root, like the very root closest to the scalp. The length of the starter lock is 2-strand rope twists, and the very end of the portion that I decided to use as my starter lock is braided. I did that for a couple of reasons. I have noticed that people who tend to start their locks with braids, it takes a while for that braid pattern to go away, and it's because the braid is, it's really secure. It's just like once you braid your hair, especially on natural hair, it stays. I didn't want to do that. all the way. But I've also noticed that people who do 2-strand twists, their hair will transition to locks faster, but they also have a tendency to unravel, especially if they're very small. So what I decided to do is combine the two. I braided the roots to make sure that the roots were secure and tight, and I essentially eliminated the possibility for slippage at the root. I left the shaft of my starter lock, if you will, 2-strand twisted to give it just a little bit more room for the shedded hairs to migrate up and down and get that locking process started. And I braided the very ends so that I wouldn't have to go through periodically and deal with unraveled starter locks. There's a couple of different people that I follow that have helped me with guidance and inspiration as far as it goes with Microlocs, and one of them in particular, I think her name is Taikara Ann. I'll include her link in the description box. But she started her locks. She's got about 600 something locks, and she started them with 2-strand twists. They're very small, and she said that she deals with unraveling, and she kind of wished that she had braided the ends. So I took note of that, and I learned from that, and I did that for my own set. The next question is, do they unravel when you wash? No, I have already washed my hair once, and I was a little bit nervous about it, but no, they all stayed intact. Granted, I did braid my hair and secure the end of the starter lock section, so about this much. I secured that with a rubber band, but I had no unraveling or anything like that, and I even blow dried my hair and no unraveling occurred. Will you be maintaining these yourself? Yes, I will be maintaining them myself. I recognize that because I have so many locks, this is going to be a huge undertaking when it comes time to retighten. I've already gotten my mind right. I expect that with this many locks, it'll probably take me over the course of a week to retighten my roots. But I think that given the aesthetic that I will likely develop over time, I think it'll be worth it because it'll be closer to what I want. And also I think that when it comes to locks in general, there isn't a whole lot of things that you're doing for upkeep. So even if I have to take a week, tightening my roots, I feel like that's something that I'm willing to do because it's worth it. What interlocking rotation will you use? I'm thinking that I'm gonna probably do the 4-point rotation. I'm not an expert on interlocking. I mean, I know how to do it. I don't know all the differences between the rotations, but from what I understand, the 4-point rotation is gonna give you the most compact pattern, and therefore kind of keep your locks as compact as they can possibly be. And something like a 2-point rotation is going to be a little bit looser of a interlocking pattern, so it's going to give your hair some room to kind of fluff a little bit. I think fluff is the best word. I don't want to say swell, but fluff, so that they have a little bit more body. I think given the fact that I already have a lot of density and I have so many locks, I don't think that I would want on top of those two things fluffy locks. So I think that I'm gonna go with the 4-point rotation to give me more of a compact look, because I think that that's what I would want. How did you get the part so neat in the back? I had to sit on my bathroom counter, and you know how your little medicine cabinet mirror can come out, and I would sit in between the medicine cabinet mirror and the mirror that was on the wall, and I just would look through the mirrors and just take a rat tail comb and very carefully part through the back of my hair. I took my time. That's why they're so neat. And I told myself if I started to get like lazy and like making the parts larger or getting a little sloppy, I would just stop, because I learned from my first set of locks that pretty much the way that you part is going to set the course for the rest of your lock journey. So this is the part that I really wanted to spend a lot of time doing. That's why my parts are so neat, because it's like once you start them, this is pretty much how they stay. Like, yeah, you can combine and yes, you can split, but for the most part, the way you part your hair, the way you start it is the way it's gonna continue on. So I just took my time. I used mirrors and I used a rat tail comb. The next question is, you were pretty minimal with your locks last time. Do you plan on being the same this time, or would you be braiding and banding, styling, etc.? I was very minimal with my locks last time, and intentionally so. I understand that locks can have a huge propensity to kind of absorb things and be weighed down, and I don't want weighed down hair, especially when we're talking about the longer your locks get, there's more stuff in them, then it can be a problem. So minimalism is still my philosophy now. I think the second part of your question was, do you plan on braiding and banding? Absolutely. Absolutely. For those of you guys who watched my other videos, you'll notice that my locks, when I was looking back at them, and it actually looked like I had much thicker locks than I actually did. Because what you were seeing wasn't thick locks. What you were seeing was bunched locks. Because what would happen is the roots were very skinny and then the ends were like super fat, but because I had so many and my hair is so thick, all you could see were the fat ends. So it looked like I had a head full of thick locks, and in actuality I didn't. I had a head full of small locks with bunched ends, and that I believe happened because I didn't understand or know that I needed to braid and band my locks as they were forming. I didn't know that. So I will absolutely be braiding and banding my hair every time I wash it, every time my head comes into contact with water. So I'm going to be going to the beach this winter. I will be braiding and banding my hair if I'm going into the ocean. And I also braid my hair every night. I may do a video on it, but it's not anything special. I literally just will do 4 cornrows on my hair at night, and when it's time for me to wash my hair, I band it and braid it. And I do that because I don't want the bunching. I don't want the bunching. I know for some people it's kind of like, oh, it adds character, and I think it does add character, but it does change the aesthetic of your locks, and if it's not a change that you want, it can be problematic. And also on a more technical side, if you have really skinny locks but fat bunched ends, it's very difficult to interlock. You can't pass the fat part through very small roots. So for my own sake, I want to keep the bunching as minimal or eliminate it altogether as much as I possibly can, because that's kind of what happened with my first set and I don't want that happening again. The next question is, are you facing any unraveling at the ends due to the ends, I guess, due to my relaxed ends being loose? No. So I don't know if I mentioned it early in the video, but so the length of my hair is relaxed, but my roots are natural. And so what are we in? We're in October now. I think the last time I relaxed my hair was January of this year. So I've been having you know, my natural hair growing in for a while. And I think that's why the twists and the braids take to my roots so easily, because it's natural hair. It's very curly. So no, I don't have any unraveling. Even the parts of my hair that are relaxed, because some of them I accidentally braided a little bit beyond what was natural and into the relaxed part, and those haven't unraveled either. And I think that that's because even with my relaxed hair, I did not relax my hair bone straight. If I hop in the shower now and I come out, there's still texture even in my relaxed portions of my hair. So regardless, I mean, obviously my natural hair is going to hold the twists and the braids better, but my relaxed hair does too, so I'm not dealing with any unraveling because of my relaxed ends. Do you plan on cutting your relaxed ends? No, I don't. My relaxed ends are still in really good shape. They have a lot of elasticity, they have a lot of luster and shine. They're not breaking, they're not brittle. So for me, there's no point in cutting off hair that's in good condition and in good shape. I actually think this is low-key a look, you know, like with my twisted and braided roots and then like the loose kind of hair. I think it actually looks cute. So I'm not gonna cut it. Even in the long run, I don't think I have intentions of cutting my relaxed hair. It all depends on how it looks aesthetically. If it starts growing out and it just becomes clear that like, okay, this needs to go, then yeah, I'll probably trim it off gradually. But if not, if it continues to look cute, then I'm not gonna cut it. I kind of answered this is, do you plan on braiding, locking your hair all the way down to the ends later on? No, I don't. If this set goes satisfactory to you, will you lock your daughter's hair? No, I won't. I consider locks to be a permanent alteration to the hair, and I don't plan on making any permanent alterations to my kids' hair. I'm gonna just let their hair stay in its natural state, and then as they enter into adolescence and young adulthood, if they decide they want locks and they want my help, I'll be more than willing to help, but that's not a decision I'll be making for them. So the last question is, why did you change your channel name, and what does it mean? So I changed my channel name because I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just felt strange about having my government name on my YouTube channel. I don't know. But also, as far as what does it mean? So in India, you've noticed women will usually wear like a dot in the middle of the forehead. It's called a bindi. So whenever I'm like, there's a significant Indian population where I live, and so wherever I'm out, I always have people asking me like, is that a bindi? And I'm like, no, it's not a bindi. It's a beauty mark. And so bindi and beauty mark, bindi, beauty mark, bindi mark. Hey! So yeah, I mean, that's the meaning behind the channel name. But anyway, I hope this answers some of your questions. I'm really excited about making some videos for you guys about what's going on with my hair journey and kind of how it progresses. I am I am hoping that I'm going to be happier with this set of locks because, you know, my first set of locks was actually really pretty. It just wasn't what I was going for. It's kind of like if you went to a restaurant and you ordered lobster and they brought you out filet mignon. Like, obviously filet mignon is good, but that's not what I asked for. And that's kind of how I felt about my first set of locks. I was like, yes, this set of locks is good, but this is not what I wanted. So I'm like really hoping that this set of locks goes better. I think it will, because just off the parting alone, I have already gotten closer to what I was like. Just off the parting alone, I'm closer to where I wanted to be. I think now the next step is going to be keeping up with the retaining schedule, which I don't think I'm gonna have a problem with that. But the thing that is a little bit outside of my control is the bunching. Like, I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that the bunching is kept to a minimum. I'm going to be diligent about my braiding and banding, but that's the only part that's a little bit out of my hands. I can't control that directly. So I'm hoping that if all goes well, I don't have anything catastrophic that happens with my locks. Oh, but I think I'll be really happy with this set. I'm really hoping I will be. But at any rate, I am looking forward to keeping you guys updated with videos and getting back into lock talks and just general conversations about black people and black people's hair and how it affects us and all that stuff. I'm excited. I've noticed that there have been, since I've left, there's like new faces in the lock community, and I'm really excited about those people as well. Several of them played a huge part in helping me to be inspired and well informed coming into my Microloc journey. I want to shout them out. I kind of already touched on it. Taikara Ann is one of them. Tunisia Ali, love her videos. And also, I think her name is Chavinus or Chavinus. I don't know. I'm gonna link all three of them in the description box so you can check out their channels. They all have micro or sister locks, and they, shared their information and really helped me. But at any rate, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time.